Grand Rising Garden family, welcome back to the garden. Welcome to New Life with me, Shell. Well, we've reached episode 7 of our deep journey through the first book of Adam and Eve. And in our last episode, we watched Adam and Eve deal with the heavy physical reality of the water of life, confronting the stark contrast between the perfection of Eden and the raw elements of the earth. So today we enter chapter 18, and as we look at the book on screen, I want you to look past the surface level of this narrative. We're about to see Adam look back at the garden and experience a profound structural collapse of his emotions as he realizes what has truly been lost. So let's look at the original text, anchor your mind, and let's read together. Chapter 18. When the accursed serpent saw Adam and Eve, it swelled its head, stood on its tail, and with eyes blood red, did as if it would kill them. It made straight for Eve and ran after her, while Adam, standing by, wept because he had no stick in his hand wherewith to smite the serpent, and knew not how to put it to death. But with a heart burning for Eve, Adam approached the serpent and held it by the tail, when it turns towards him, and said unto him, O Adam, because of thee and Eve, I am slippery, and go upon my belly. Then, by reason of its great strength, it threw down Adam and Eve, and pressed upon them, as if it would kill them. But God sent an angel, who threw the serpent away from them, and raised them up. Then the word of God came to the serpent, and said unto it, In the first instance I made thee glib, and made thee to go upon thy belly, but I did not deprive thee of speech. Now, however, be thou dumb, and speak no more, thou and thy race. Because in the first place has the ruin my creatures happened through thee, and now thou wishest to kill them? Then the serpent was struck dumb, and spake no more, and a wind came to blow him from and a wind came to blow from heaven by command of God, that carried away the serpent from Adam and Eve, threw it on the seashore, and it landed in India. Now let's pause right here and look at the blueprint of what is actually taking place in the environment of this transition. In chapter 18 right here, we witnessed the first direct physical confrontation outside the gates of Eden. The text states that the serpent turned on them and used its great strength to throw them down, and pressed upon them as if to kill them. So this is the introduction of unregulated pressure. When you leave an environment of pure protection and enter a strange territory, your previous enemy no longer operates through hidden whispers behind trees. He moves into open, heavy pressure warfare. Notice that the enemy didn't just want to scare them. He wanted to flatten them under the weight of their new reality. He wanted to kill them. And traditional mindsets might look at this attack and see hopeless vulnerability. But structurally, look at the immediate response of the kingdom. The moment the pressure reaches its maximum threshold, God does not stay distant. He sends an angel to throw the enemy off of them, and he raises them back to their feet. Now see, the real structural shift happens in the vocal authority of the word. God tells the serpent, I did not deprive thee of speech. Now, however, be thou dumb. Just think about the architecture of that command. The enemy's greatest weapon isn't his physical weight. It's his ability to speak lies, to cause panic, and to dictate your identity in the dark. God didn't just remove the serpent from their immediate space, right? He stripped away its capacity to speak, and he silenced the narrative of the accuser. Ask yourself, how many times in our own lives do we feel completely thrown down and pressed on, by the weight of consequences, thinking the enemy has total authority to crush us? We sometimes feel like we can't even take life anymore. But you need to understand that the Creator has already issued a decree over the voice of your trauma. The enemy may try to press, but his access to speak into your future has been rendered completely dumb. And now, notice the final alignment. A wind from heaven blows by command of God, carrying the threat completely out of their geography, throwing it to a distant shore, to India, and the boundary is reestablished. So instead of panic, Adam and Eve are shown that even in a fallen territory, the authority of the word is absolute. And now that the atmospheric noise has been silenced, let's see how they process the internal shock of this territory. Let's move right into chapter 19. Chapter 19. But Adam and Eve wept before God, and Adam said unto him, O Lord, when I was in the cave, I said to thee, My Lord, that the beast of the field would rise and devour me, and cut off my life from the earth. Then Adam, by reason of what had befallen him, smote upon his breast, and fell upon the earth like a corpse. Then came to him the word of God, who raised him, and said unto him, O Adam, not one of these beasts will be able to hurt thee, because when I made the beast and other moving things come to thee in the cave, I did not let the serpent come with them, lest it should rise against you, make you tremble, and the fear of it should fall into your hearts. For I knew that accursed one is wicked. Therefore would I not let it come near you with the other beast. But now strengthen thy heart, and fear not. I am with thee unto the end of the days I have determined on thee. Chapter 20. Then Adam wept and said, O God, remove us to some other place, that the serpent may not come again near us and rise against us, lest it find thy handmaid Eve alone and kill her, for its eyes are hideous and evil. But God said to Adam and Eve, Henceforth fear not. I will not let it come near you. I have driven it away from you, from this mountain. Neither will I leave it aught to hurt you. Then Adam and Eve worshipped before God and gave him thanks and praised him for having delivered them from death. All right, so let's bring this multi-chapter narrative into its final structural synthesis. Look at the intense emotional transition taking place between chapters 19 and 20. In chapter 19, right after the physical confrontation with the serpent, Adam undergoes a profound moment of shock. The text states that he smote upon his breast and fell upon the earth like a corpse, once again. And this is a complete structural shutdown, y'all. When you exit an environment of perfect protection and encounter raw hostility for the first time, the natural human response is often a paralyzing fear. I think a lot of us know that paralyzing fear, and how Adam he's just so overwhelmed by what has occurred that he collapses as if his life has expired. And the Word of God has to step in to physically raise him and reassure him. And then look at how when chapter 20 opens, the moment Adam is back on his feet, he doesn't pretend to be unbothered, right? He weeps and immediately vocalizes his deep vulnerability. He says, "Oh God, remove us to some other place that the serpent won't come again near us," right? And then he goes on to say, "Lest it find thy handmaid Eve alone and kill her." Think about that. Think about the architecture of his request. Adam isn't just worried about his own safety. He is experiencing acute anxiety over the vulnerability of his partner, Eve. The text reveals that the trauma of the enemy's hideous and evil presence has left him feeling exposed in this new territory. He's asking for a change of venue, because he feels unqualified to defend the space he's in. And then look at the response of the Creator in chapter 20. God doesn't give them a geographical escape route, right? Instead, he secures the exact territory they're currently standing in. He says, "Henceforth fear not. I will not let it come near you. I've driven it away from you." Traditional mindsets sometimes assume that when you pray in a panic, God's answer has to be a physical relocation. Some of us are runners. But structurally, the kingdom's response is often an environmental lockdown. God doesn't move Adam and Eve away from the mountain. He removes the threat from the mountain. He sets a boundary over the territory so they can build their baseline in safety. And the moment they receive this word of absolute security, their posture completely shifts. The chapter concludes with them worshiping and giving thanks and praising the Lord for delivering them from death once again. So, think about that. Your deliverance doesn't always look like an exit strategy. Sometimes it looks like a sovereign voice commanding the threat to back up so you can safely stand and bloom right where you're planted. So let this text serve as a permanent reminder for you. Stop expending your vital energy fighting the closed gates of your past. Start focusing on the exact territory that you've been assigned to build right now. Because no matter how broken down or exhausted you might feel standing outside of a closed transition today, just remember that the Creator is looking directly at the truth of your heart, and His Word is structurally engineered to raise you back up to your feet. And if you want help to clear your atmospheric noise, to realign your mind, and to keep building your spiritual foundation, I've got practical daily blueprints for you. You can pick up your physical copies of Echoes of Eden and Reclaim Mind. You can get them on Amazon by tapping our channel name right below this video, and you'll step right into our one-click Linktree profile in the bio. You can also plant a seed there to keep our sanctuary garden growing. I just want to thank you for sitting with me at the table and reading today this multi-chapter journey through the book of Adam and Eve. I hope it brought clarity to your spirit. If it did, go ahead and tap that like button. Subscribe to the garden and let all notifications ring out because I don't want you to miss an episode. Let's just work the soil of the heart together. Testify in the comments below. How does chapter 20's reminder that God validates requests comfort your specific season today? Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for your continuous love, your prayers, your encouragement. Every little seed makes just a big difference, and it keeps me going, motivates me, and we're just sharing love with the world. So I want you to keep growing, keep healing, Plant them seeds and build one stone at a time. And until next time, dear friends, I'm sending you peace, love, and blessings.